What the hell is going on, people? This is Periodic, and you see the title of the video. We are jumping back into Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and we're going to talk about a brand new piece of information that just came out, the announcement of the Extreme Z Awakening for Physical Cooler, and the fact that people are already saying that he sucks.
Hit my thought. I shut it down wherever power is stored. Being real is in the past, watching cowards get on. It ain't kill me, so it's making me stronger. And these bite-sized rappers now sensing my home.
So let's check out Gresh's tweet. He was the one that, translated this a few hours ago in the morning. And so we have Physical Cooler. Now, keep in mind, this man has been highly sought after for an EZA, right? People have been anticipating his Extreme Z Awakening with bated breath and, just at the edge of their seats for this man. And so let's see what he did before, and let's compare it to his Extreme Z Awakening. So, as per usual, he was one of the mono leads. So he was a 120% extreme physical lead. And super physical got 50%. 3 key HP attack and defense, 120%. His super attack did immense damage, as they all do, and greatly lowered defense, so that's a 50% debuff. Passive skill was 100% attack and defense. Now, that has transitioned very, very well, even to today's standards, because it was a percentage base, and he gave himself equal amounts of attack and defense. So with supports and higher leader skills, his defense has just been skyrocketing to almost 200k, and his attack, he's consistently doing 2 million attack stat, which is great. He also has the ability to launch an additional attack, which has a chance to become a super attack. I believe it's a 10% chance. Let's see. Yeah, so he has a guaranteed additional attack, and that guaranteed additional attack 10% of the time can be a super attack, which is cool, right? What made this guy so damn strong is his link skills. They were one of the best sets in the game, because anytime you bring other coolers, other Friezas, anybody in like that, that clan, that wicked bloodline, that Frieza Force type clan, you're gonna have a good time because of how good his link set was. So you got strongest clan in space, which 2 key. And then all enemies get a 10% defense buff. So the great thing about that is, for any, units in that team that benefit from the enemy losing defense, he just does it passively with that strongest clan in space. You don't even have to super attack, because obviously he lowers defense on his super. Thirst for Conquest, 15% attack and defense, just straight up 15% attack and defense, which is great. Big Bad Bosses, 25% attack and defense. Obviously, this is all at link level 10. Shocking Speed, 2 key, 5% defense. So now we're looking at 4 key between just these two. Universe's Most Malevolent, a fat 20% attack boost, which is great. Metamorphosis, which is unbelievable. Attack and defense 10%, which is like, that by itself is good, but then you're getting back 5% HP. And that's for every character that has Metamorphosis on rotation. So if you have 3, you're getting back 15% HP, which is great. Then, of course, Fierce Battle, another fat 20% attack boost. So that's really great. And he was on a ton of categories, right? Movie Bosses, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Final Trump Card, Space Traveling Warriors, and Planetary Destruction. Now let's take a look at his Extreme Z Awakening. So, just like all the other mono leads, he's gaining 10%. So now it's 3 key HP attack and defense 130%, and then the super type has been boosted as well from 50% all the way up to 90%, which is good. His super attack is not changing much. It's going from an 80% debuff on the enemy's defense to 80%. Yeah, so from 50 to 80%, from greatly to massively, which is not bad. This is not bad. I don't mind massively lowering defense. I don't really feel greatly lowering defense or lowering defense, but massively lowering defense, you do feel a bit. Passive skill, he gains 20% attack and defense. So he's jumping up from 100% attack and defense to 120% attack and defense. Oh, and keep in mind, his stats have also increased too. I don't think they actually yeah, they didn't include it here. Does Gresh mention it? No, he doesn't. So the numbers of the attack, the defense, and the HP all get increased. So I know for a fact that his defense goes from 9,475 to like 11,500, somewhere around there. So you can kind of expect all those numbers to go up by about 2,000, which is really important. So on top of the 120% attack and defense, which is an extra 20% on more stats, he still has that additional attack, that guaranteed additional attack, which is great. But now has a 30% chance of becoming a super attack. So that's really good. 30% chance to become a super attack. So that's much better. It's got a 3 times better chance of doing it. And every time he attacks, which is going to be at least 2 every turn, minimum 2, he gains 8% attack and defense. That caps at 80%. So essentially, at max, he has to show up 5 times to gain that 80%. And so you're going to be looking at what, 10 turns or so for him to show up. Just about, right? Maybe a little less, 8 to 10 turns. So this is not a character that you're going to want to bring to early. Well, let me take that back. He's not going to specialize on early events like Super Battle Road and Extreme Super Battle Road. Because Extreme Super Battle Road and Super Battle Road, your character wants to be doing as much as they can in the beginning, right? So that's why it really benefits units that greatly raise their defense on their super attack, maybe just for 1 turn. Or greatly raise their attack just for 1 turn, right? Or seals or does all that stuff. And people that stack, raise attack and defense, and they have no cap on that, they're better for longer events. This guy is still good for short events because of this 120% on the fat EZA stats. So he's going to be looking at like 250k defense, just straight up, right? And then, once you gain that additional 80%, you're going to be looking at like almost 350, maybe more, 360k defense. And you're going to be looking at 6 million attack stats once this guy really gets going, right? In the beginning, his attack is going to be a little bit better. He'll probably be around like 2.5, 3 million, which is still really good. But he's going to be getting up to like 6, 7 million attack stats after a few attacks, right? That's going to be absolutely ridiculous. So the fact that some people are saying like, oh, he's not that good and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, what are you smoking? The fact that he was already good to begin with without his Z Awakening, he's usable right now. At this moment, he's a usable character. And now he's gaining this crazy update, this crazy upgrade. He's just so much better. It kind of reminds me of the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, particularly, right? The Super Saiyan 4 Goku was good because he gave himself that 30% defense buff, but a lot of times it didn't feel like it was adequate to tank. Whereas the Vegeta was fine because he was already sitting at 120% defense. He had that 30% chance to dodge. And then when they EZA'd him, it was just like, all right, this guy is just broken now because now he's greatly raising his defense here. He's still got that 120%, but he's gaining that extra 50% here. He's raising his attack. He's gaining attack. And then the Goku was just like, they just broke him essentially because they gave him 120% defense from having 0. He's stacking his defense still, but now 30% on top of his already 120% puts him at insane levels. And he's still gaining the attack bonus. He's greatly raising his attack. So this dude does unbelievable amounts of damage. So this guy is like, these 2 units are great no matter what turn it is, right? No matter what turn it is, they're going to be able to do ridiculous stuff. This cooler is going to be great in the beginning and then just get better and better and better as the fight goes on. So in my mind, these 3 are very, very well designed. I would say that the Super Saiyan 4s are probably still a little bit more impressive to me, but we have to test out Cooler in the game to really determine how good he's going to be, because all of the other EZAs have been pretty solid, except for one, right? Except for one, the Super Saiyan 3 Broly. Now, Super Saiyan 3 Broly is better than what he was because he actively lowered his defense by 10% for every orb he gained, but he also gained attack for every orb he gained, so it was a catch-22. Now with his EZA, he still lowers his defense, but it's just not as much, which is not that great. And you have to keep in mind, he had 0 defense to start off with, so he would actually go into the negative in defense. Whereas here, he's sitting at 120% defense, and so he starts eating into his defense when you start grabbing a lot of orbs. And that would get to the point where he's like sub 100k defense, which in a lot of events, that's just not enough, right? So this guy kind of disqualifies himself from running really, really difficult events, because a lot of times, damage isn't enough. You still need some form of survivability. And this guy loses his survivability by doing a lot of damage. And if you're not able to kill the enemy, he's going to kill you. So he's not really a good design. He's not a well-designed Extreme Z Awakening. He has too much of a fault to, compensate his gifts of doing damage. But if you look at some of these other EZAs, they're great, right? Because if you look at somebody like Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who Global's about to get, 120% attack, additional 60% attack, and negative 30% defense for 7 turns. Now, keep in mind, this dude doesn't have any defense to speak of, so again, he's like just murdering himself for the first 7 turns. When they EZA'd him, they said, hey, we ain't going to do that anymore. We're going to give him 150% attack and defense, plus an additional 70% attack and 30% defense and 30% chance of dodge for 7 turns. So they're like, we're going to turn him from being a glass cannon for 7 turns to being an overpowered fusion for 7 turns. And then if you look at like what he does on his super attacks, 10 key and below, immense damage, massively lowers defense. 11 key massively raises attack, immense damage, attack effective, and then 12 key greatly raises attack, causes immense damage to enemies. So all 3 of these are just incredible. If you keep going, Int Kid Buu, a big problem before, no defense, none at all, right? And then he also had back then a bad link set because they had no key. He had no key here, which was a big problem. EZA came, link level update came, and then all of a sudden he's linking like crazy. Look, 2 key on Majin. Where else? Infinite regeneration, 2 key. And so 4 key right there, right? But on top of that, look what he does now. 100% attack, 70% attack and defense, 1 HP is 30% or more. Majin power, extreme class allies, 1 key, 1 HP is 50% or more, and another key when HP is 70% or more. So as long as you're above 70%, he's giving Majin power allies, extreme allies, 2 key. So that became really good. Oh, and by the way, raises attack and defense for 1 turn. So all of a sudden, his faults were gotten rid of, and he became insanely powerful. Android 17, another character who was really solid before his EZA. 40% damage reduction. He stacked his attack every time he got hit up to 120%, very similar to LR Goku Black and Zamasu. And then he did the greatly lowering defense. EZA came, all of a sudden, 50% attack and defense on his super attack. Greatly lowering defense still, but look at this. 40% damage reduction. They kept that the same, but look what he does. 1 key up to 3, 30% attack up to 150, and more damage reduction every time he gets hit, up to 30% every time he got hit. So that's a total of 70% damage reduction, 3 key, and 150% attack. And oh, by the way, he's greatly raising his attack and defense on top of that. And target Goku allies get a 17% crit hit bonus. Like, bro, broken. You keep going. Strength Janemba. He was good before. 80% attack. Guard, always active. 30% chance to dodge. EZA'd him? Oh, let's give him 100% attack and defense. He's still going to guard all the time. He's still going to have a 30% chance to dodge. And his chance of dodging like increases every time he dodges. So he starts at 30%. If he dodges once, he's now at 40%. He dodges again, he's now at 50%. And he's massively lowering defense. So talk about a defensive wall. And then last but not least, in Gogeta. What was his problem? Defense. 120% attack, attacks effective against all, but no defense. Now, look at all this. Raises his defense, lowers attack and defense. His attacks are still effective against all types. He's sitting at 120% attack and defense, 30% chance of dodging with 1 rainbow orb. Give him 40% attack on top of that if he gets 2 rainbow orbs, and then a 50% chance to crit on top of all that if he grabs 3 rainbow orbs. So they've done a phenomenal job with every single EZA except for Broly. And Cooler is no exception. He is not the Broly. He is more, I would say that this Cooler is in the lines of the Super Saiyan 4s and the Android 17, where what they did with them is just insane. And I would argue that he's more in line of 17 because 17 has to get going to be able to really be at his peak. He's not like the Super Saiyan 4s where they're just dominant turn 1. I would say that this guy's probably in a better position than Android 17 turn 1, and then just gets even stronger than that. So people that are saying that they're disappointed, or like Goresh in another tweet says that this is boring, I don't think this is boring at all. I'm fine with this. I love that he gets stronger as the event goes more and more, because for a character that's sitting at this 100% attack and defense, you really shouldn't be doing like giving him 10 different abilities, because he was already powerful. There's a reason why people were saying that he was possibly the best 120 lead in the game, you know, before the EZAs. There's a reason. It was like him and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta were back to back. And I would say that this guy, you could throw him on more teams, right? More viable teams at that point. So this is a good thing. And I'm really, really, really excited to see what they do with Super Saiyan 3 Tech Goku, because he's the final character that needs an EZA. And if you want to see that when it comes out, you got to be locked into this channel. Let me know what you think about this EZA. Is it like just a beast, or is it a bust? I'd like to find out from you. Listen, you got to follow the channel, man, to see all the videos that are coming out in the future by clicking that blue join button. Become a boomer champion like Joe V and Wolverine Gaming, or you could do it the free-to-play way. Gently rub that sub button, gingerly ring that bell button, lovingly kiss the like button. As always, this is Periodic. See y'all in the next video.